Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, YouTubers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to PDINA'S Royally Teachable Moments. You know, I don't know if you've all seen this documentary on Netflix with the Beckhams. I've been watching it. I'm actually on episode number 2 right now, and it's really, really good. It's really good. And I'm not surprised about this information that I've read about Meghan Markle being jealous now of the Beckhams Netflix documentary. And it's just kind of like she's trying to compete with people that are so out of her league, and she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand. Her celebrity has got her like confused. Like what she thinks is her celebrity is not her celebrity. And now she's looking at the Beckhams and she's completely jealous of them because their documentary is actually interesting. People actually like watching their documentary because it really is good. And I'm not a soccer fan. I mean, I'm not somebody who's going to sit and watch a whole soccer game unless, you know, family member, somebody is in it. But the Beckhams, David Beckham, to his credit, I mean, he was pretty interesting with his soccer playing because of the contrast of, you know, when he got that red flag and the people just hated on him. Oh my goodness. Okay, look, we got to get into it. Let's get into it. People hating on him to the level that they did and how he was able to maintain his composure. It just shows you his character. It shows you that he's somebody that is about maintaining his integrity. And hey, look, y'all gonna hate on me. I'm gonna let you hate on me. I'm not gonna retaliate. I'm just gonna keep doing me. And that's what he did. And I think how he responded to all the hate is what made him so likable with Meghan. This girl just cannot. She is so out of control. It's just unbelievable. So here's the most recent information about this whole deal with Meghan and Netflix and being jealous of the Beckhams and their success with Netflix. And I say, yeah, you should be jealous because your documentary was nothing but a wine fest. David Beckham really had an interesting contrast to how he was hated and how he was able to have a comeback, because now I'm seeing in the documentary his comeback from all the hate that he got from getting that red flag, because he was able to persevere. He had real endurance. He had real perseverance to overcome the negativity in a way that he was able to be then championed, and people loved him because he was able to play so much more superior. Like his downfall made him better. His downfall elevated his status because of how he reacted to it. The problem with Harry and Meghan is they have their downfall like in real time, like we're talking about their downfall right now. And look how they respond. They want to put out documentaries speaking negatively about the royals. They want to give excuses for people having such vitriol towards them. They don't know how to be upstanding and quiet and shut your mouth and just persevere through whatever is going on and listen to what people are saying to you. They can't do that. And this is why they will never have success the way David Beckham has. And to her credit, Victoria Beckham, how she was standing there with him because they gave her vitriol. They were talking about her like the crowds were singing negatively about Victoria Beckham and saying she takes it up the hoo-ha or something. Like, it was just wrong, okay? Because I know if I'm sitting in a crowd and people are literally chanting vitriol towards me in the audience, and I'm like, okay, like, what am I gonna do? I'm just going to be like, okay, I think it's time for me to go home. Watch this game on television. That's what my reaction would be. But girl, she did what she did. She stood by the man and yeah, she stood by him and it was all good. Okay, I just can't. I just look at this and I'm like, oh my God, Meghan. So Meghan Markle, the reason why she is so upset is because there are new reports that say that David and Victoria's docu-series with Netflix, mind you, Netflix is doing a much better than Harry and Meghan's docu-series on Netflix. Oh yes. And we know that they are right now not speaking to the Beckhams because they believe that the Beckhams have put out these stories on them, and it just put Harry over the edge. Like, you talking about my wife? What you say about my wife? And he went and confronted David Beckham. David Beckham was like, excuse me? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to put out stories about you? You better go kick some rocks. Their docuseries is doing way better than Harry and Meghan's docuseries. Way better. So Meghan, apparently, there are reports that Meghan is upset and she is jealous over the Beckham's docuseries on Netflix, as she should be. Yeah, go ahead, be jealous. You should be jealous. You should just be green with envy at this moment because you don't know how to have a good story and to even look internally at yourself and to have yourself be talked about without shutting your mouth and trying to get back at people. This is why people that don't know their story, that don't know much about them, saw that docuseries that they did, Harry and Meghan, and was like, this is boring. Like, what? Because all they wanted to do is look at all the niceties and, we's happy. People love us. We so in love. We so in love. They want people to have this false image of who they are as a couple. They don't want the nasties and the uglies and the really difficult things to be seen because they want to control the narrative. And trying to control a narrative about yourself will never work. People are going to say what they're going to say. You just need to look at yourself for who you really are and stop trying to control it. And that's what's getting them in trouble. They do not know how to persevere in the ups and the downs. They're like, okay, well, wait, let's put out a story and say this. Well, let's not talk to so and so. Let's do this. Like they're constantly counter-reacting to information rather than just being who they are in the moment and allowing it to be documented for the sake of entertainment or people getting to really understand who you really are. That's the problem. David was a successful, we know, soccer player at Manchester United, while we know Victoria Beckham, she was part of the hit international girls group, the Spice Girls. And the relationship between both that the Beckhams had with the press, the relationship that they had with each other, it was not easy through the years. I mean, there were lots of ups and downs. There's so much more history. There's so much more content to talk about in terms of what the Beckhams have gone through. Harry and Meghan, they were just rushing to get married. And we know that even Meghan may have allegedly lied about being pregnant, hence the royal family having to up the wedding date to go around Eugenie's wedding because she was already scheduled to get married before Harry and Meghan. But because there was this urgency about Meghan being pregnant, they had to have their wedding first, which we know was not the truth. But that was allegedly the story why they had gotten married first. So David was treated like UK's #1 enemy when he was given the red card, we know, during one of the England and the Argentinian games that they had during the World Cup in 1998. And when I lived in Germany, I'll never forget when Germany, somebody won and the people in the town just went buck wild crazy. Like people just going buck wild in the streets. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? I ain't never seen anything like it. It was quite an experience. It really was. So I know this World Cup is a very serious thing over in Europe, just from my own experiences. I was like, okay, shoot, let me just go inside and lock the doors because people going crazy. They done gone crazy mad in this town. But anyway, the Beckhams, things are getting far better reviews. A lot of people think that it is a docu-series that is less whiny than of what the Sussexes produce. In the Netflix documentary, Beckham chronicles David's and Victoria's rise to the top, because, you know, things were good at the bottom and then they got together, and then you can really see how they kind of rose up above, you know, the controversies around different personal things that had happened in their lives around their first child, and, you know, Beckham's playing, how it was affected. And you got to really see a lot of insight because there were videos. There was so much that you could see from years prior. It was all documented because they were already celebrities. You know, and seeing them come together and rise to the top is a really fascinating story, because you love to see people rise to the top when they've had hardships, when they've had difficulties, when you can see that they can rise above things that may have happened in their lives. And that's what they did. They were able to rise above it. David in the story was treated like UK's #1 enemy. Like the whole country was like, you did wrong. Why did you do that? You got the red card. We hate you. The man's like, okay. Can you imagine all the people just hating on you like that? Okay. So, you know, you kind of feel sorry for the guy, because I'm thinking, you know, it's only a game. Did y'all have to be hating on him? It's like, you know, it's like David, he did not have a comeback like, okay, well, I'm going to put out a documentary and talk about how I'm the victim of all these people hating on over me over this game. You know, like he just did what he did. He played his game. He got better. It made him better. And the sad part is Harry and Meghan cannot see how what may or may not have happened to them within the royal family, it could have made you better, but you allowed it to destroy you, and now you look like the fools. And I would even go so far to say you didn't have anything really bad happen to you. Like nothing bad happened to you. You living in luxury. You got the nice things of the world. Live your life and stop complaining. You know, that's the problem. Harry and Meghan have not had any hardships, but they want you to believe they have by their whining, talking about how we are victims. And Victoria said, and that time in Spain, along with David's alleged affair with Rebecca Luce in 2004, which is something that nearly broke her. I haven't gotten to that part of the story, but she goes on to say it nearly broke her. But she allowed it to not break her. She allowed it to make her and her marriage stronger, is what I'm assuming, because they're still together. Which we know most recently, Will and Jada Pinkett are no longer together, or they haven't been. And I think I'm going to talk about that story. If you want me to talk about that, please let me know in the comments, because I think I should be talking about that, because there's so much stuff to talk about in terms of that whole relationship and what happened. Okay, so Beckham has been getting rave reviews, which of course has Meghan very concerned. This girl, she concerned. I'm concerned about your success. Why are you so successful in your documentary and I wasn't? Or why is your documentary better than my documentary? Yeah, Meghan Markle, you should be concerned, because you don't know how to look at things. You so off the mark with your rationale. It's a shame, but I love talking about it, and I'm glad, because at some point you're gonna have to snap out of it. I hope for your own well-being.